So first thing, let's talk about putting a watermark in. You're going to go up to the insert menu and go almost halfway down, a little bit further than halfway down to the watermark button. And you're going to get a dialog box over on the right hand side of your screen. The dialog box says select an image. If you have the image uh, text selected, if you have text selected, then you can put text in. Let's go ahead and start with an image. I'm going to select an image. I'm going to get the familiar choices here. I can upload from my computer, or I can use the Google image search. We won't worry about these for right now. They're pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to go ahead and choose Google image search. And I'm going to search for an image that I'd like in that background. Maybe I'm creating a holiday card and I would like to put something in there about holidays. And let's choose something that looks nice. I'll choose this Happy Holidays button or image. I just went ahead and double clicked that. Then it pops into my document as a faded in image. When I go over onto the right hand side of my screen, notice that the faded image box is clicked. If you don't want it faded like that, you can unclick the faded image and it will show you as the full image that it should be. But I like my image faded, and I might want to change this up a little bit, so I can click down below where it says more image options, and what I get is an adjustments area where I can reduce that transparency even further if I want to. I could make this a little bit brighter, which then takes the whole interest of the image away, or I can blow it out completely so you can't even read it. So you can play around with these sliders for depending on what image you have. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like it was. Once I'm done with that, once I'm done adjusting my image, I can click the X in the upper right hand corner and go back to my watermark choices. Once I have my watermark choice complete, I can click the done button, and now I'm ready to go ahead and start my holiday card. From here, what I can do is I could put the name of the event, holiday party at my house, and I can do all the things that we've been working on, like centering the image, making the font a little bit bigger, maybe making the font bold and changing the color up a little bit here. I don't really like the way that's looking, so I'm just going to click my mouse in the front of the A in at, hit the enter key, and the text goes down to the next line. If I'd like to bring those words down into my watermark, I can do that by just hitting the enter key a couple of times, and I can continue typing on this form. And that's how you create a watermark with an image. And this time I'm going to go up to where it says Insert, Watermark, and go over to the text choices over on the right hand side. From here, I might want to type draft. So when you're sending something out and it's not quite your final choice, you, oops, go ahead and click done. And then from here, you can type on the this document, and it will go right over the word draft. So I'm just going to copy and paste my words just to prove the point that it goes right over those words draft, but you can kind of still see the word draft underneath there. So that's what a text-based watermark looks like. All right. Is smart chips. So I'm going to go ahead and open a new document and use these smart chips. Now what you're going to notice first of all is that Google has introduced these smart chips recently. They really want you to get used to using them. They are very clever and handy to use when you're working on a document that requires you to use to do the same thing over and over again. It's very helpful. So it says type at to insert. So I'm just going to follow their instructions and type the at key. That is Shift 2 on your keyboard for the at symbol. And what you notice, first of all, is it brings up people's email addresses. And then the next thing you'll notice is that you can pick from meeting notes, or you can even start an email draft. Let me show you what this looks like. When you go to at email draft, you're actually able to craft an email right here in Google Docs. I can type to a particular person, address it right away. I can put my subject matter in, all about my party that I'm creating, and I'd like to invite you to my party. And this is nice because I didn't have to jump out of Google Docs in order to create this email. If I want to go to my email and send this, all I have to do is click on the M tool at the top left of this document. When I click on that, it's going to create an email in my inbox, open up my inbox, and it'll be creating an email straight from there. If I'd like to go back and get out of that, all I have to do is tap the back button or the previous tab in my Google Chrome tabs marker at the top, and it goes right back to our document. Okay, so that was the at symbol, and all I did was go at and said email draft for that one. I'm just going to pick out a couple of these that are really handy. The next one is if you want to insert a file into this particular document, if you need to link to another document or something like that, you can do that by going Files, hitting the little caret or arrow key, and it'll bring up all the names of the last few documents you've done. If you don't see the name of the document that you wanted to import in there, then you just have to start typing it in and it will pop up. So it's usually the last 8 to 10 documents that you've created that will show up at first, but you can always type in the name of the document and it will pop up right there. Okay, again. Other things you can do here is use that at symbol and create today's date, and today's date will pop right in to your document. Which brings me to my next section. You can also go to Insert, Date, and it will pop up a calendar, and you can choose which date you wanted to put in there for this particular document. So that was Insert, Date, and a calendar pops up. Now, if I'd like to translate my document, so this time we're going to translate this document. And the way we're going to do that is we are going to type our document in our native language. In my particular case, that's English. And I'm going to type a story about cats. Cats love to sleep. Now I could have a lot of text in there, but I'm just putting a little bit of text in to show you the demonstration of how this is going to be translated. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my document and then go up to where it says Tools, Translate Document. Tools, Translate Document. And what's going to happen is the computer is going to make a new copy of this document in the other language. So we're going to choose another language. Since I live in Southern California, I'm going to choose Spanish as my other language. We have a lot of Spanish speakers here, so I'm choosing Spanish as my translated copy language. I'm going to click Translate, and it takes just a moment, but the document will show me exactly what I wrote in Spanish. So there's the Spanish translation of what I wrote in English, and I hope this comes in handy for you.